Welcome to the Gatekeepers Podcast with Billy Grove, where the fence world gets real, raw, and unfiltered. Billy's not just an industry leader, he's a hands-on pro who knows what it takes to build quality fences and strong teams. So grab a cold one, settle in, and get ready for straight talk about the trade. Today's show is brought to you by Mr. Fence Academy, National Metal Industries, J.C. Gury Signs and Decals, and Orlando Hinge Company. If you're looking to hit the next level in your fence company, check out Mr. Fence Academy. Real fencers, real job sites, real training equals real results. And now, live from the Mr. Fence Academy studios, here's your host, Billy Grove.
What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing on this wonderful Tuesday evening? Right up next to Christmas. Hope everybody has had a wonderful past week. It's good to be back. I was working out of town last week, hence why I ran the rerun, but I'm back in the hot seat tonight. I got my man, Mr. Aaron Grier, here with me. And we're going to be talking about things that you wish you would have known before you started your fence company. I also have some questions for each segment to put out there for you guys to drop your answers in the comments. Seemed like everybody kind of liked that episode a lot more than the other ideas I've been trying out. So we're going to go with that again. First and foremost, though, guys, we do have to give a huge shout out to our awesome sponsors who make this thing happen every single week on time. First and foremost, it's going to be Mr. Fence Academy, guys. If you are in the market to level up your fence business, whether it be the business side or the installation side, go check out www.mrfenceacademy.com. If you are looking for privacy slats, chain link material, they just dropped a new aluminum handrail box kit. Comes in 6 foot wide or 8 foot wide sections, 3 foot tall, black and white. Go check out National Metal Industries over at www.nmifence.com. Next up, we got J.C. Gury, guys. If you are still looking on where to purchase a fence sign for your finished fences, go check them out at jcgury.com. Awesome people, even better signs. They all come with Mylar lamination to look good 10 years down the road. Go check them out. Last but not least, guys, we have Orlando Hinge Company, aka the Swan Hinge. If you guys are still struggling with a double drive gate with one leaf has to swing uphill with nasty cuts or huge gaps up under it, I highly recommend a Swan Hinge. www.swanhinge.com. I've used a lot of them, love them. They work perfectly. They take care of the no dragging, opening uphill. Can't say enough about them. www.swanhinge.com. Boom. All right, there is that. So let's go ahead and bring on our guest. He's in the background waiting. What's going on, man?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Good, man. You?
I can't complain, man. I appreciate you having me on today.
Anytime, man. It's always good to catch up with you. So a lot has happened since the last time we spoke verbally or on the podcast. So you've been to Vegas. You're now one of the instructors with MFA as well. And the biggest thing, bro, you won best in your city for a company with fewer than 10 employees. Bro, that is like, dude, tell us what's been going on, man. You've had a busy couple months this year.
Yeah, there's been a lot more traveling than I'm used to. I'll say that. I've been back and forth to Vegas, to Indiana, all over the place. September was really busy with all of that traveling. But yeah, man, we've just been, the days that I'm back home, we've been trying to crank out as much work as possible. Still just me and one other guy. And then, my fiance's running all the admin stuff. So we all have our plates extremely full with what we have to get done on our work days.
That's awesome. All right. Well, why don't you like give everybody a recap of your time in Vegas, man? I'm sure it was crazy. Go, 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 go. But
Yeah, I
what
thought
do
it
you
would
think
be.
of it?
I thought it'd be a lot more relaxing. But I guess when you're hanging out with Sean the whole time, there's no such thing as relax.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, man. I mean, it was fun. There was a lot of different booths that were set up there. That's my first time ever being to an event like that. Never been to like Fence Tech or anything. So first time really being exposed to anything like that. Although I was working in the booth. So I didn't walk around a whole bunch, but I got a couple times to go, different sides of the area and see, get some little samples to take home myself. But
Absolutely.
yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of cool products in there. Made a lot of good networking with some of the people that I've never met before with certain brands that I use, but just didn't know any of the people from that particular brand. And
It's always
so
nice to put a like face to the name, though, right?
right. Especially when it's
Yeah.
something that like the quick pull, that
Yep.
Randy's Sloggett, that's his
Yep.
last name.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the first time I met him while I was there. And then I just we had a goal when we were in there to get everybody in a Mr. Fence blue shirt. So we see just a wave of blue in there. But by the end of the week, everybody, like people were coming, like, please, I went and got a shirt. We got an extra shirt over here. We were making people trade shirts, right? So they'd have to give us a shirt to get a shirt. And we would not give them out, without them trading a shirt. So people like at the end of the week, I got a shirt here. You can take this one. You can take this one. And so it was just funny. I think they're going to make something with all those shirts that they got, just to show how many people actually wanted one of those Mr. Finch shirts. But it was pretty cool. All the stuff that he had set up. We built all the demos for Mr. Fence. We were running the fence games over there. So it was a whole smorgasbord of stuff.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, man. I remember setting up and taking down, so I
yeah,
do remember that.
yeah.
The tools booth is very, very cool. And once you
Oh yeah,
see it like set up and broken down, it looked completely different. But
oh yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot of little pieces
yeah,
to all of that. And
absolutely.
they got to be
Absolutely.
set up just right, so
Right, right. So moving on, excuse me. So you were also promoted to the next like instructor in NFA. Like tell us how that's been going.
oh yeah, so I thought we actually, I think me and you were actually supposed to go to a training event, and that was going to be like the first real test for me
Yep.
anyway. But I actually kind of got like word that I was going to be able to be a trainer prior to Fence Week. And so then Fence Week ended up actually being like my first solo training. But I've spent so much time with Sean that like I feel like I can almost regurgitate like exactly what he says. And so that's my goal anyway, because I want to deliver,
Right.
that
Right.
same message that he's trying to deliver.
Right.
And so, I mean, for me, I've been putting together. We're now working on SOPs with Nico for all the iDrive power system stuff. And so I put together the vinyl SOP and then sent that over to Sean. It got sent to Nico, kind of revised a little bit, and then now it's sent back to me for like the kind of the final look throughs and whatnot, and then it's going to get sent back to them for a final okay. But yeah, and then after this vinyl one, it's kind of like okay, then we're moving on to the wood, the aluminum, the chain link, and trying to get everything mapped out. This year I think we're trying to do a little bit more of the training rather than having Sean do it,
Yep.
so that he
Yep.
can be a little bit more hands-free with like making some videos and whatnot. So we're trying to get in a position where we are the sole trainers, and I carry that with a lot of weight. I don't take
Oh
that
yeah.
lightly.
Same. Same.
I've been pulling at Sean's coattail for I don't know how long. Hey man, give me my shot, dog. Like,
Yeah.
so it's,
Yeah.
it's here, and now I'm ready to make it happen.
Well, that's awesome. So we've actually had the same we'll just call it like a student for shits and giggles. So Paul, I can't even remember his last name.
Kurtz.
Yeah. So he was down here last week. I got to teach him aluminum, and he was saying that he had worked with you too, and I didn't even know that till he got here. So I was like, "Oh man, that's awesome."
Yeah.
So he's a cool guy, man,
Yeah.
and that freaking Brody, he's gonna be a monster.
Yeah, I haven't met Brody yet, but apparently he only lives like an hour and a half away. We just haven't got a chance to let him come and work with us yet. We actually just did our first bar job this last week. 8 foot tall with a foot of barbed wire on there, 3-strand.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, knocked that one out, me and Stoney. So
was that your first one? You said
the first barbed wire job, yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah. It was fun. I mean, it really wasn't. It went pretty smooth for how we did it. I've got a little video I'm gonna put out with a little homemade like little jig that we made just to dispense the wire so we could walk it out.
Oh yeah,
like a little A-frame. But I'm gonna put that video out here soon. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Not too bad.
Gotta love some 8 foot plus one.
Oh yeah.
You gotta be on a ladder of
when we got more, like the second half of that job, we're gonna do the week of January 5th, because it's got a cantilever gate with a 30-foot opening on it.
Nice.
And so first cantilever too. But
you
a
better
45-foot gate.
Just you and Stoney out there, brother.
Oh yeah, we got I've got a buddy that owns another company, Logan Taylor. I don't know if you've met him with Diamond T. But yeah, he's actually coming out and he's going to help us kind of move the gate with his equipment, and then get these 4-inch posts drove in the ground and everything for us. So
nice.
Be fun.
Nice. Yeah, man. We did a 8 foot tall cantilever I think 2 months ago, and normally we have like 6 to 8 people like moving it.
Yeah.
Right. We had 4 that day. I'm so glad I don't have the recording of us freaking loading it on the truck. That was a shit show. Like, it got out there, it didn't get bent. It all went safely, but putting it on the truck was the biggest shit show I think.
Well, I paid for delivery, so I'm avoiding all of that. We just got to get it off of the truck.
Right. Well, hey, man, that's probably a pretty smart idea to pay for that, though.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show. What would it's the topic is going to be, things that you wish you would have known before starting your fence company. Stuff like things that you only learn after messing up, and things that you just wish someone would have told you up front. What's something that you wish someone would have just told you up front from like day one?
Well, probably pricing wrong. Pricing wrong early, and not just hurting like your cash flow, but almost setting the expectation of your customers and your employees, even yourself, to undervalue like what you're doing. Right.
Very true.
The very first training that I actually went to, I knew Sean like through YouTube videos. I think that's how everybody kind of stumbles upon Sean.
Yep.
But back when he was dig setting, and so like I was just literally following all the information I could get on how to build a fence through the videos. The very first event that ever popped up near me, I had no idea that the retreat was like a business training. I just saw, hey, there's a Mr. Fence event that's like right in Tennessee. This is the closest this guy has gotten to me since I've started looking at his stuff. Like, I gotta go. And so I'm like looking at the pricing, and I'm like, man, I ended up talking to him, got like a little bit cheaper room, staying in the bunk room versus staying in an actual king room. But yeah, so anyway, during that first retreat, like I said, I didn't even know that it was the business training. But after I left there, the day one of getting back home, like my pricing was completely different, just because I knew better. And at this point, I've already been building fences for like 2 years,
Right.
So I'm like, dude, like how much time could this have saved had I known this on week one, like going into it, like knowing what my numbers are and knowing what numbers what numbers are. Like not
Yeah.
what my numbers are, but what numbers are. What are numbers? What numbers am I supposed to be even looking at?
Yeah, right.
Like
Right.
it's like that's a big head start if you know that information before you ever even get started. That could have
Very
saved a
true.
whole lot of time, energy, effort. Might have been the number one Mr. Pence tools holder for longer.
Oh man, that's funny. Are you still that? Because I know
I don't know.
Paul.
Nah, I doubt it. Nah,
I know Paul just dropped some dollars.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Which I told him, man. I was like, look, you're gonna like because he's asking me about should I start with the 10-gallon or go with the third? I'm like, bro, just go ahead, go big. It's an initial expense, and then let it start making its money back. Buy everything you need if you can. Buy everything that you need, and then just sit on it. Let it all make its money back for you, right?
Yeah.
It's not because once you have, I mean, there's only so much that you need, right? I mean, it's pretty universal tools, most of the stuff. So that was my viewpoint on that, which I know, I knew he was going. He sounded like he was about ready to go spend some money. Paul
Oh yeah,
messaged
bro.
me
He
about
spent some
once a week.
dollars.
Yeah, about once a week I get a message from Paul, maybe more, but
That's
at least
awesome.
once a
Yeah,
week.
man.
Yeah.
The last time I saw him, he was like, "Hey, you mind if I call you on like gate questions and stuff?" Because
Yeah.
whenever he was here with me, we just had I think it was like two 400-foot straight runs with no gates.
Yeah.
So like I didn't get to like show him gates, and he was like, "You mind if I call you and stuff?" I was like, "Yeah, no." He's like, "You mind if I FaceTime you?" I was like, I mean, yeah, but there's not a high probability that I'm gonna answer the FaceTime all the time. He's like,
Yeah.
okay, all right, cool. I was like, but what's up? He's like, yeah, so we didn't do gates, so kind of run me through that. I was like, oh man, you got this. But absolutely, bro, give me a call anytime you need to.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
but all right, moving on to the next. What's one of the quiet mistakes that followed you around longer than expected besides the pricing thing?
Um, probably saying yes to the wrong clients.
Very good. Yeah.
Just because not only are you setting yourself up for whether it's like a red flag customer or just a job that you had no business doing, you're taking yourself away from your bread and butter elsewhere, right?
Right.
You could be making better money faster somewhere else. All
Yeah.
right. And so learning to say no. It's okay to say no to jobs, right? Like it's okay for
Absolutely.
us to be like, we get so caught up in hearing no. Oh, they're gonna say no, my price too high. They're gonna say no but like it's okay for us to say no too,
Yeah.
And so I think that as a business owner in general, like we don't even think about like telling a customer no.
Yeah, man, that's a hard thing to do as well. And not even at just a sales approach mindset, but being confident in your processes and procedures, and making sure that no one violates those is sometimes a tough thing to do. And what's the best way you've learned to word your saying no to a crazy customer request?
Well, I typically try to frame it as if like our solution doesn't work for them. Like we don't have a solution that can fix their problem. And then we've even taken it as far as like apologizing with a gift card. Like since we can't fix it, here, have dinner on us. Give them a $50 gift card to some local steakhouse or something like that. Just because sometimes people can get we tend to want to price ourselves out of a job. I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, just price it really high," and that way if you get it, it's worth it. And if and then most of the time they'll say no. But some people take offense to that. You know what I mean? Like they're like, "Oh, that's a ridiculous price," and then they start spreading, that you're just astronomical compared to everybody else. So then you can get a bad reputation off of that as well, right? So sometimes it's best to just be upfront, like, hey, we don't have the solution for your problem. and because we can't, fix that for you, or we can't handle that for you, have dinner on us, easy.
I hear you. So are there any types of clients where you're willing to like kind of bend the rules for?
In what way?
Man, I don't know. So here recently we've had some very high dollar spending clients, and for instance, this past week we had the back half is aluminum and the front half is the like Goliath fence stuff. I don't know if you touched that stuff, but it's pretty
No, nobody wants to pay for that Monday, bro.
yeah, right. So this is the type of client that we're dealing with. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, dude bought Civil War cannons to mount on his seawall to scare away the pirates. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's basically yes, sir. Right? So but we had finished the aluminum job previously, I don't know, maybe about a month ago. And it's a rake bottom aluminum. So, the like the pickets go past the bottom rail and they stick out past the bottom rail, right? So at the very end where we were transitioning off of the dirt and going into the seawall, it drops rapidly because the seawall was like 6 inches lower, right?
Yeah.
So he understood. He was like, yeah, man, I think it looks great. It looks awesome. I understand why it had to be like that. And boom. So, this is like a 3-part job. He's getting his home built. So, we got to wait for this to be done, to do this part of the fence, wait for that to be done for this. So we were coming back out to put the Goliath fence together after the post had been set. And he was like, hey, man, I hate to say this to you, but like my neighbor, she really doesn't like how it dives down at the very end. And he's like, I completely understand why it does. I fully understand it. I get it. Is there anything that we can do? And I said, yes, but that's going to like require me to make changes to the section. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you see how you got these little rake bottoms? I said, if you allow me to cut them off of these 2 sections, I can get it completely flat. And he was like, all right, give me a couple minutes. Let me think about it. He walks back and he said, you know what? A happy neighbor's worth it. Cut the rake bottom off. I was like, all right, yes, sir. like that's something that I wouldn't normally do, right? Alter a manufactured section like that. But he's given us enough dollars to where I'm just like, yes, sir. You got another property a couple miles down the road. We're gonna do that one too, right?
Oh yeah.
But, so that's kind of the emphasis that I'm kind of talking about right there.
Yeah. I mean, something similar to that. I don't really know. I don't really have anything that I can think of that we really budge too much on. I mean, there's really, I have one guy, I mean, where we had a post. I mean, this is something that was recent, actually happened during fence week. We had a vinyl fence. I mean, and the gap between where the post next to the house was maybe 3 inches, right?
Yep.
We shoot for 4 or less, right? Just because the 3 7/8 between pickets on aluminum, we call it 4, right?
Yep.
And we say if we're 4 or less, we're less than the space on an aluminum fence. So, it's the same, right? So we shoot for 4 or less. We were about 3 inches wide, but the guy didn't really like it. I didn't have anything else on hand to fix that gap. And I didn't want, somebody suggested just take a rail and screw it into the pub. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't want to do that. So I took, we have 1 corner post extra. I routed 1 whole wall from top to bottom off of that post and then kind of sleeved it over.
Yeah.
So basically a big U channel, right?
Yep.
And put it around the other post and then riveted it to the old post inside and outside. On the inside, you can see one of the corner routed holes, but I put it on the inside of the fence so that from the street side, you're not going to see that. To me, it's tacky, but for that customer, it solved their issue and they don't care anything about that hole, right? He's like, oh, I'll just put some white duct tape over it. And so I was like, okay, well, I mean, if you're good with that, brother, okay, so But I mean, it's literally all I had on hand. Typically, I don't like to even do stuff like that, just because I think it makes it look a little janky. But that's what they wanted. And
Hey,
I
man,
didn't get paid extra for it. I just
sometimes you got to do what they want, though, right?
Yeah.
So I do that a lot with the like slip post here recently. Just a bunch of anomalies of like hitting a couple months that like never ever hit, right?
Yeah.
So we had a couple where there were some brick columns where they had the giant footers, like 3 feet deep footers, to where like the SDS bit wouldn't actually make it through it. Right. So like we had to do slip post on those because we just couldn't get through the concrete. But that's something that I like doing as well. But we normally use blank post, so there's no holes, but it's a cool little trick.
Yeah. I didn't have anything else on hand, and I was like, hey, I got this. It's gonna have a hole right there. He's like, we'll do it. We'll make it work. So okay. Well, I didn't get paid any extra for it, but he was happy, and I got a good review. So
there we go.
That's the payment that keeps paying.
Absolutely, man. All right, so we're gonna jump into the second segment. What are some of the trends that you're seeing that people are just blindly following right now in the fence industry?
I think probably trying to scale too fast without having like a process in place.
Mm-hmm.
I know we see like a lot of like some main brand, almost like brand names in the fence industry,
right?
Like brand fence companies, right? So you got your Mr. Fence, SWI, you got Ozark, you got all these big like known fence companies that are popular across like all these platforms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people look to those companies. I was guilty of it too, because I tried to start 17 different platforms at one time in the beginning, like thinking that was going to work. Like I had time to actually do all of that stuff and build the fences and take care of the customer, So, but trying to almost mimic what you see without like having your ducks in a row, like here I am 5 years in, and I just said I'm making SOPs for the processes that we're doing,
Yeah.
No SOPs up to this point, but how much faster could onboarding have been having those in place? Taking somebody that's completely green to the industry on day one, and before they ever even step out of the truck, they have like some knowledge or some sense of what they're actually going to be doing that day, without like, the lead guy being like, hey, this is the pliers, Scott. Like, like, what I'm saying? Like they have like some sense, some knowledge, right? Because some people don't learn like hands-on as well as other people. I know I learn better hands-on. Like show me how to do it one time, and then I'll probably be able to do it every time, just like you just showed me, right?
Yep.
That's just how I am. But some people don't learn like by being shown. Some people have to like be doing it with you, like almost like holding their hands and helping them do it, And some people are like, hey, I need to read it first, and then I need to do it, And so like just having those things in place, I think could have like gave a huge head start on like where we're at, in general, in any company at all. But just having a written process, and it's no guesswork. Like what comes first? We do this first, then we do this, and then we do this, and then we do this. It's written right here, right? You can refer back to page 4, section B, like whatever. So I really think that like just trying to scale too fast without having a process in place can really shoot you in the foot.
Right.
Yeah.
Very true. So I hear a lot of this one, things that people say just because that's always how it's been done. We're in 2025, about to be 2026 now. I'm not really all for doing it how it's been done just because that's how it's been done. I don't know what your take is on that. I think that there's a million different ways to skin a cat, as long as it's strong, pretty, and does the job that it's supposed to do. To an extent, I don't really think that there is a specific guideline of like, you must do it this way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't either. I know who you're talking about.
Right.
I mean, we've even heard like, I like to feel tired at the end of the day. Oh, okay. Well, I do too, but at the same time, if I can get more work done and still feel tired, right? Or if I don't have to feel tired at all, and still got just as much work done.
What I don't want to feel is I don't want to feel those aches and pains on Saturdays and Sundays whenever I'm not at work, whenever I'm not supposed to be feeling those aches and pains. That's my argument to a lot of that, is, whenever I'm not at work, I don't want to be feeling like I just got my ass kicked.
Yeah.
So, I've been there, I've done that. I've toted concrete and thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of concrete and all that stuff. But, I'm to the point in my life personally where I would rather seriously work smarter than work harder.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's a very cliche phrase, so to say, but at the end of the day, that's where I'm at in my personal life.
Oh, yeah.
I got hobbies that I like to do besides fencing, and I don't want to be sit up on the couch like, oh, I can't really bend my neck too far because, I dropped a bag of concrete while I was trying to put it over my shoulder and it landed on the wrong spot on my neck, and now I can't see.
Yeah.
So that's not really me. Now, am I saying that I'll never use a bag of concrete? No, man. We use concrete pretty frequently.
I have to use some tomorrow. I'm building a fence for my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
On Christmas Eve.
Hey, man. I'm gonna go
full split rail.
I'm gonna go hang some gates tomorrow, man. It is what it is.
Chris got you working, man?
No, actually, I volunteered, man. There's some things that needed to be done. We'll be off at 12.
Chris, get this man a raise. I know you're watching, or you're gonna be watching at some point.
But yeah, man, we got some things that just need to be wrapped up. That way we can start next week and the new year out fresh. Sometimes it just takes putting on your big boy boots and going out there and doing it. So, we don't have plans with the family until at least 4 or 5 o'clock. So I'm not going to be doing anything anyways. So I was like, yeah, man, I'll go make this person happy.
There you go.
I'll go give them a Christmas Eve Christmas present. They can let their dogs out whenever I leave, and they can have a wonderful Christmas. So yeah, man, I don't even really mind it at all.
Well, hopefully it's in a nice neighborhood. They'll give you a good tip. You go get you a Christmas drink.
There we go. All right. Well, hey, man, we're going to run to commercial break real fast. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Okay.
All right. Cool.
National Metal Industries, a family-owned business for 70-plus years, has grown to be recognized for their ability to deliver on not just privacy slats for fence, but all types of fence products. National Metal Industries has all the hardware and tools to get the fence professional in and out of their job with the most ease possible. You can count on National Metal Industries for the most convenient resources in fence products. Visit nmifence.com for more information. As we like to say, you can always pick it right at National. J.C. Gury Signs and Decals has been a trusted name in the sign industry since 1949, with all manufacturing done in-house from start to finish right here in the USA. With 75 years in outdoor signage and roots dating back to the 1920s, J.C. Gury specializes in durable, high-quality signs and decals. In-house screen printing since the 1970s ensures every product meets the highest standards. Visit jcgury.com for more information. Every aluminum sign includes Mylar lamination at no extra cost, extending product life in tough outdoor conditions. For unmatched quality and longevity, visit jcgury.com. Struggling with a gate that drags on your sloped yard? Orlando Hinge Company has the solution, the Swan Hinge. Unlike standard hinges, the Swan Hinge lets double drive gates swing open smoothly up inclines, eliminating dragging and binding. Easy to install on vinyl, aluminum, wood, and chain link gates. It's built for durability and made to withstand the elements. And when your customer hears that, yes, their gates can work on a slope, you just made the sale. The Swan Hinge, designed by fencers for fencers. Made in the USA, lifetime warranty. Order today at swanhinge.com or email info@orlandohingecompany.com. The Swan Hinge, because every gate deserves to open smoothly.
All right, guys, we are back. And real quick, once again, if you are looking to level up your fence company, whether it be the business side or the installation side, go check out www.mrfenceacademy.com. Even if you don't join the academy, guys, get yourself to a training and learn some stuff and take it back and kick some ass. Boom. We are back, and for those who are just joining us, guys, we're talking about things that we wish we would have known before starting a fence company, fence business, and just all around some things like that. And let me turn my phone off because it's doing stuff. I can see it in my peripherals. All right, Aaron. There's a lot of advice that sounds great on social media, but whenever you put pen to the paper, it doesn't work, or it may not work for you. Kind of like what we were talking about right before we went to the like commercial break. You know, everybody's got a way of doing things, and this is kind of what I tell a lot of the guys who come to my trainings. You know, you're probably not going to take back everything that I show you. Take what works and use it, and what doesn't work, leave it. Right. So, what are your feelings on that?
One common thing that I hear a lot, which being small business, just hire help. You know, people say just hire help, but you don't have clear standards. Or if you don't have, if you don't have clear standards, now you're just multiplying problems that you had before. It just times 2, 3, 4, however many people that you just hiring help for, right?
Right.
And so, you know, that's a big one for me. Talking about processes, you know, I got SOPs on my head, man. You know, just not having the right process in place, you just multiply the problems that are already there, right?
True. And bringing on a person when you're not ready to is kind of a shit show at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, and a waste of money if it doesn't pan out.
And I'm not saying not ready, like you couldn't use them because you obviously need the help or you wouldn't have hired somebody, but like you're not actually ready to bring on like an employee, kind of like you were saying with the SOPs, you just kind of throwing them to the wolves, so to speak. So you know, that's a mistake that I made. You know, I mean, like I know a lot of us have made that mistake, and looking back, there's probably a handful of guys who I thought didn't work out that are probably badasses, but I just couldn't turn them into badasses at the time because I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But so piggybacking off of that, like timing, like versus readiness, like on your opinion, are you planning out hiring your next person, or is it just going to be like, it's time, do it, right?
Yeah, we like to think that we're planning it out, but it kind of feels more of like the latter. No, but this year, I think we're really trying to hone in more on our numbers, and I'm trying to kind of filter myself out of the field a little bit more. I know I'm not going to be out of the field entirely this year, but at least starting to somewhat feel. I don't want to make myself try to sound like this super badass, but like just trying to start to fill my shoes, right? And I say that with with the expectation of the person that's coming in knows nothing. If they do know something, then hey, we're even better, right?
Right.
But I don't mind the idea of taking somebody that's completely green. I think I have more of a fear of trying to train somebody that is previously been in the fence industry and trying to unlearn all of the things that they learned before. Because I've had somebody locally that worked with me from a previous from another competitor in my market, and they actually went back to them after they quit with me. But it just trying to get them to not think of how they used to do stuff at the other fence company. Right. I just always heard that well, at this fence we did it like this. Over here we did it like that. And I'm just like, dude, we're not there anymore. Like, like this is boundary. There's a reason that I don't share, the name with them. Right. I don't want to be what they are. Right.
Yeah.
And so that for me is my biggest fear. Trying to unlearn.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fun. I've found that I would rather take somebody who doesn't even know what a circular saw is,
Right.
or the difference between a jigsaw and a sawzall. Like I would almost rather have that than someone who has been trained by another fence company.
Oh yeah.
And it's just there's a whole lot less butting heads whenever you do that. It's a lot more annoying, so to speak, because you get into your daily grind and you're just like, hey, go grab me this, and they're like, what is this? I'm like, oh my god. You just forget. You get so used to talking to people who know what these tools are and how to use them that you just very quickly say, hey, go grab me the notchers for the aluminum sections, not the ones for the post. Go grab me the ones for the sections. And then
we'd be like, the hibachi notchers. That's what we say.
So just be like,
what?
What
making
do
hibachi?
Yeah, what are you talking about? So I do find it it's got its challenges on both ends of the spectrum, right? But I do find myself gravitating towards someone who has no construction experience whatsoever, sadly. But there have been those few that have broke through the cracks, so to speak, and have let everything go from previous fence companies and picked up on new stuff. But
I think it's all attitude based, man. I really do.
Yep.
Like it's because somebody that doesn't know anything, they're coming in with the attitude of like they got to learn it anyway, right? But somebody coming from another fence company, they're coming in like with the mindset that they already know, or they're looking at like the way that you're doing stuff, like why are y'all doing it like that? Like what I mean? Like so.
Right.
It boils down to mindset. I think at the end of the day, if you come from a previous fence company and you have the right mindset, I think it'd be a great thing for both parties,
Right.
But typically that's not what you get in that relationship.
Very true. Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
All right, and getting on to the wrap up, I got one more for you. In your mind, what deserves the most attention early on in your journey into the fence world?
I think early on, for me, which sadly my pricing wasn't right, so I was racing to the bottom. But I think early on, the main thing that got my name out more than anything was the quality. Making sure that how the work was supposed to be done was done the same way every time, and how we talk to our customers, communicate with our customers was pretty much on par no matter who we were speaking with. And that's one thing that I've heard, is you don't talk to the owner of the business, the owner of the building any different than you talk to the janitor.
Right. Right.
And so like even with like, you said you were just dealing with a customer that had super expensive, house, building the Goliath and all, you got all the bells and whistles on their fence, but then when you got that one customer that's just getting the chain link because that's all they can afford, they just need something, to put the dog in, like making sure that chain link fence looks just as good as that Goliath fence would, and that customer doesn't feel that they were treated any differently than the person that got the Goliath fence and the all the bells and whistles. I think that was the biggest thing, right? Not growth, not branding, none of that. It was just making sure that everybody felt treated just as important, and that all the fences were built with the same quality.
That's awesome, dude. I love that one. I love that answer, man. Great answer.
Appreciate it.
All right, dude. Well, we are pretty much on time. You got any closing thoughts for everybody?
Nobody owes you success. But your standards decide whether you earn it. I think that'd be my closing statement there. Yeah. I got my kids trying to break into the room too.
All right, man. Well, thank you for taking some time out of your night. Merry Christmas, bro. I look forward to seeing you in person real soon.
Oh yeah.
And thanks again for coming on, bro. You have a wonderful night. All right.
You too. Happy New Year.
All right, man. You too.
See you.
All right, guys, that is going to be it for the show. I hope everybody, nope, that is the old intro. Sorry about that. I had the right one queued up the first time. But anyways, that is going to be it for tonight's show, guys. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. You take some time off to spend with your family. And when you come back, you're pumped up and ready to go. I'm going to get a show lined up for everybody next Tuesday. I hope to see you here. But until then, guys, Merry Christmas. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night.